Oh, I scared him. Oh, I got wild. Ah, it's all good. Yeah, there's a couple times too, and it's tough with regards to when you want to use your shield breaker, because there are some times where it's like, okay, he's really not using it that much, and I feel like you're trying to lull me to sleep, which was eventually the plan. And on the right side, eventually, I think you did throw out one shield break, and I just jumped over the top. With regards to your misdirection, it might even feel like you're using it. You might feel like you're going to start using it too much, but I would say start using it sooner in your, I guess, storytelling of the game, right? Instead of saying towards the end where it's like, okay, I'm trying to get into maybe not desperate mode, but like if you can get that single tap early, just to be like, okay, like if you're scared, like even if you get a shield break and I'm not going to die from the shield break, it's like, okay, at least now I'm scared of getting shield broken again because I know you're willing to go for it, right? So if you happen to catch me at a high percent, that's always good. As far as the shield breaker, you can set up some theming with that to say, okay, if I want to start walking up to you and shielding as much as I am, you're going to catch me. So now I'm going to start to do that less, especially towards the end of the game where it matters more. So you're either going to just straight up catch me with a shield break, or now the door's open for going for like forward tilts and stuff like I was saying before, because I'm scared of shield break from what you were doing earlier in the game. Yeah, a situation like that can happen even, right? If I didn't get that tech, I'm dead, but even though I did get the tech and I got on stage, I still got hit and you didn't get punished, right?
Right.
So something like that, you could actually go for a bit of a mix-up there and do Dancing Blade 1-2, then dash back and F-smash or forward tilt me, or go for a pivot grab, since I am probably going to be DIing in and trying to air dodge out of that, right? Yeah, that's tough to get away from. It is possible, and we haven't really talked about that situation very much, I don't think, actually, ever. The only thing you can really do there, like, yes, you can try and hit me, but if we clank, then you're still going to die. You should be trying to drift away from the stage in that situation there. If you get shot by that laser, basically guaranteed I'm going to go for a spike, just because that's just what every Falco on Earth does. If I go for that spike, or if I go for a fair, or literally anything at all, you could drift away from me. You still had your jump, I'm pretty sure. If you didn't have your jump, then you're absolutely screwed. I'm not gonna. There's nothing you can do in that situation. But if you do have your jump, don't be afraid to drift a little bit towards the blast zone, or you could even fast fell as well. You would have to double input your fast fall though, because the laser would have taken it from you if you got hit after you fast fell the first time. So have to fast fall again, and then from there you could have got away from the spike, or I would have had to make a read on your fast fall with you, and then spike, which is like insanely hard to do.
Oh.
Damn. So a situation like that, I would just call that rushing for a ledge trap. If you have to get up, better players too, they'll also know, like, if I get up in a crazy scramble, I'm not going to run off stage immediately and try and kill you, because that can also happen to me too, right? So, yes, it could work out well, where it's like you try and sneak something in, but you can also get reversed very heavily, and I know that I can too, right? So it's just not worth going for. Oh god, that was worth it. I think I'm dead. I don't know, I'm living. So one of those situations there, that's when you could have thrown out a shield breaker instead of going for down tilt, forward tilt. So I got up and shielded. If you just went for a light tap, it's like, okay, you could have gone for shield breaker into jump fair and caught my jump. Because I'm definitely going to do something. I'm not holding shield breaker again, even after you just did like a single tap, right? So you do like shield breaker into fair, or shield breaker into like an up tilt if you think I'm going to roll, right? Or dash back forward tilt or something. Because I'm definitely not going to just sit there and hold shield. If I do, then I'm actually a crackhead, and you should just break my shield. Oh, bro, let me get the clip. Come on, man.
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah. But you see in a couple spots, like even at the corner, I think so far we've talked a lot about like pacing the game as far as making a comeback, but also I want you to think a little bit about asserting yourself or imposing your will a little bit, as to say, like, I should be scared of you too. And like I was saying, like that's your shield breaker. That is going for like double-edged dance, or dancing blade jab locks out of down tilt, stuff like that, to like, if I happen to be slipping at all, I can just get my shield broken, or I can get killed in some way, or take a ton of damage, or something bad can happen, right? I feel like right now, for the most part, you're playing very much so by the book. And here's the thing, that's not wrong at all, but I want to see a little bit more creativity when it comes to your approaches and your punishes or even your tech chasing, because like I've said in the past with other players, is keep in mind that you're fighting a player, right? You're fighting another human. You might do things that might feel like they're suboptimal as far as like, oh, this doesn't actually combo, or oh, this doesn't actually make sense. But that's the same thing that I'm thinking too. Something doesn't make sense, that's how you get someone to freeze, right? They either hold shield too long, or they take too long to make a decision, or they start playing further back because they don't know what the hell is about to happen. And you can definitely induce that into somebody if you're playing like with your shield breaker a little bit more, or if you're going for like those jab locks, or if you're like getting me stuck on a platform and you just crouch underneath the platform because I don't know if I should jump, I don't know if you should hit my shield first and then I should jump, I don't know if I should come down and try and hit you. You're just there, right? It's the standing there menacingly approach to playing, if that makes sense. I think the best way to think about that too is if you've ever seen somebody tech chase where they'll hit you with like a down tilt, or they'll get you in a tech chase situation and they immediately go for a dash attack, right? If I know that that's what you're going to do every single time, I don't really care about getting knocked down. But if you're running up to me and then shielding, or you're running up to me and then jumping over me and coming down with like a down air and then hitting me up into like the air for like a spike and then going for an F smash or an up air, or a up air or up smash or something, all of a sudden getting knocked down is a lot scarier. Right? It's the same thing as like, let's say if I throw this at you and I just stand here and do nothing and it just hits you, versus if I go like this and then I run over to you, get a footstool, then I jump and go like this. Even if I was wrong, next time you're like, well, what the fuck? What's he gonna do next time? Because if you roll away, I could just run with you and F smash you, or I can go like this and kill you. Or if you roll in, I can go like this and kill you, right? Or I can get another side being go for another footstool, and now you're just in a vortex of hell basically, because I'm just doing things, right? I'm doing things that are they're optimal as far as mind games or psychological warfare, basically, to say when you're in a bad spot, you have no clue what's about to happen, versus saying the obvious punish is a back air. So I messed up and I'm going to get back aired, so it's not that bad. And I kind of don't have that uncertainty while I'm moving forward in the rest of the game, versus saying, I don't know, if I throw you off stage as Mithra, if I, let's say, do forward throw, I get this on a lot of players too. I'll do forward throw, run off, footstool, run back on stage, or jump back on stage, and go for a back air and hit them into the stage, right? So now they have to worry about saving their jump, right? Also have to worry about teching as well. So I can also now put them into a situation where I'll hit them off stage, or sorry, I'll throw them off stage with forward throw. I'll go down here, and instead of trying to tech, or instead of trying to do a footstool them, I'll just hit them. I'll come down and go like this, and how I hit them away from the stage, and they did literally nothing to defend themselves because they want to keep their jump, right? Or I can go throw them off with Mithra, switch into Pyra and try and get a spike right here. Or I can go for this and try and catch them, because I forced them to go low and be scared. Because if I was doing forward throw and you were trying to jump on stage immediately and I go like this and footstool you, you're going to die, right? And it's all from that uncertainty that's being put into your head based on me doing something that is, I guess, not even suboptimal. It's just unique as a part of my play style, right? It's some creativity, it's some flavor put into the play style that you could also be doing for yourself as well. Do you have any questions about anything so far that we have or have not covered?
I remember I had a specific question. It was about when you were playing Falco and you were talking about the offstage scenario where I footstool you, that part. You were talking about how different reactions to what I've already done, like with, like, say I hit a side B and then they expect a side B, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Would that change like between offline and online? Because I know you were like, oh yeah, well, I'm gonna attack preemptively, but I didn't know if that was mostly an online thing or if that applied to both.
I'd say it applies to both, because the thing is, there are some things that you can react to. I would definitely say that that is not one of the things that I can react to, or anybody can, because there's no chance on earth that I'm going to see you drift towards me and jump towards me and be able to differentiate the different sound effect or swing animation or anything between a fair and a side B, right? It happens so fast that I have to just believe that you're going to do one or the other, right? If you're going to go for a fair and I think you're going to go for fair and I tech it, then I won, right? If you go for side B and I think you're going to do side B and I don't tech it, then I've won. But I have to, that's one of those, it's a 50-50, realistically. There's zero chance. Because I'm pretty sure fair is what, frame 6 or 7? Somewhere in there? Maybe frame 8 at the worst. And then I think your side B's frame 9. Either way, they're both not frame 18. Let's just put it that way.
Right.
Since they are like sub frame 10 at least, there's no chance I can react to that, right? The only thing that I could possibly do is try to just not be in that situation, right? And that's why it's super important for you to capitalize on those situations, because if you get me there, you know, or you should know, that I know that it's a 50-50. So either you're right and I'm dead, or you're wrong and I'm somehow alive, right? That's basically
Right.
that. So as far as online and offline, I guess if it was offline, if it was online, which it is, then I guess you could use like a way slower move and get away with it. But like if it's something like, I don't know, I'll say someone like Hero, where it's like if you do back air's frame 18 and then up air's frame 5. So if you're trying to mess up my tech timing, then you could try and do that offline. But they're so different where it's like, okay, if you throw out a back air, I could potentially try and tech the timing. But if I think you're going to go for a back air and you throw out a up air, it's so much faster. It's like, well, I wasn't even close. I wanted to tech, but my tech timing was miles off. So there's some leeway there, I guess you could say, from the offline standpoint. But as far as your specific skill set or move set with the character, there's no chance. There's no chance anybody's reacting to that.
Okay.
Right? It'd be like me going reacting to that versus reacting to that. Like the difference in frames is like 3. Right? There's no chance. But the difference for me is like both of them you'll have to tech, so it's not that hard as far as knowing what I'm gonna do or if you should have to tech it or not. But for you, since one of them just like puts you into hit stun, that's a huge deal or huge asset that you should be using for your character, right? If you're gonna go off and try and do that kind of stuff. I would say, of course, it takes practice, because the lower down you can do it, the more devastating it is. Because if you're very low, I can't air dodge up and try and beat the system. If you're doing it to me like as I'm grabbing the ledge or right before I grab the ledge, I might be able to air dodge up and grab the ledge, right? So reason why I didn't grab ledge there is because I was already holding the ledge. You have to let go for a second before you can grab ledge again. But yeah, that's the only way I'd be able to grab the ledge, is if you hit me with the side B, like basically point blank to the ledge. So you want to try and aim it low and go for the mix up. So you could be using side B all the time to try and get me to like be conditioned by it. So at low percent, maybe on the first stock, you can steal away a stock because you go off and go for a side B. No one's ever seen you do that before, so they just automatically try and tech it. And then in the future, maybe you go for side B again, and they don't try and tech it because they've adjusted. And the next time you go for a fair off stage, and they don't do anything because they're expecting side B, and they lose 2 stocks in a very cheesy way, right?
Gotcha.
So that's one of the things too, as far as for yourself, keeping a mental note of knowing what you've done and how well it's worked, right? No one's gonna, if somebody somehow wins the lottery basically and guesses every single thing right that you do off stage, and that person deserves to be alive. Like there's no chance that anyone's reacting to any of that stuff though.